England, City volunteers hold a winter aid distribution for the needy in London. We see how industrial waste is contaminating Taiwan's rivers and threatening our aquatic ecosystem. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. We kick off today's program in England and join city volunteers in London who have been providing regular hot meals to the homeless for over 2 years. Now, with the Christmas Day holiday season here, volunteers not only invited the homeless and low-income residents for a delicious meal, but also handed out aid supplies to help them get through the cold days ahead. Cheerful songs and warm greetings fill the Arlington Chinese Association Centre in London. At their annual winter aid distribution, city volunteers are putting together a Christmas feast for the homeless and low-income residents.
Christmas 是一个西方的节日。
Christmas is a Western holiday, so I hope on this day to provide not Chinese dishes but Western cuisine, so that the homeless will have a sit-down meal at least once a year and enjoy their food. Following a few meetings, city volunteers began to design the menu and even arrived early on the day to prepare the ingredients. A church volunteer was invited by her friend to lend a helping hand.
This is what reaching out to the community is. And if we are here, we need to make a difference. There's no other way to do it except to, have a personal touch with people and make them feel belong, make them feel human. And they felt it today, and everybody was like, we are hugging each other. So I'm so happy for what is being done here.
Beginning on Christmas in 2011, London city volunteers have been providing hot meals every fortnight, and over the past 2 years, more homeless people have come to know of city's events.
I, for one, will say thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart, and thank you very much for all that you do, and spread your kindness around this small planet of ours. Thank you very much.
May I know your name, please?
After the meal, city volunteers share the ideal behind the bamboo coin bank, and despite not having much to their name, everyone donates whatever spare change they have.
Though we only provide a simple meal and handed out some gifts, I felt everyone's gratitude for all we have done. I never realized how simple and happy it is to reach out with a helping hand.
Surrounded by the volunteers' love and warmth, recipients find it difficult to bid farewell and seize the opportunity to once more express their gratitude. As this year marks the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi in Malaysia, volunteers have designed a pavilion at a local recycling station, highlighting various natural disasters in order to increase local residents' awareness against such tragic events. Meanwhile, in Kemamon, following the recent floods there, Tzu Chi volunteers launched a Cash for Work program to lead local residents in clean-up efforts. Despite being disaster survivors themselves, numerous local volunteers set aside their own problems to dedicate their efforts to helping those in greater need.
In Malaysia's Kemamon, torrential rains in early December left this area severely flooded. To help, Tzu Chi initiated a Cash for Work program to help local residents clean up their communities. Volunteer Su Xinfei and Wang Yumei, despite suffering from the disaster themselves, stepped forward to help those in greater need.
We don't have many volunteers here. If I didn't participate myself, how could I motivate others to do the same?
I am a disaster survivor too, so I can understand how they desperately need consolation.
Putting hands together in prayer, volunteers shed tears for the less fortunate.
I'm very moved because we are here to help not ourselves but the general public.
At each Cash for Work program, some participants truly need the money, while others take part because they want to help their fellow citizens get back on their feet. Since Tzu Chi volunteers have shown up to help them out, they think they should make contributions as well.
With Tzu Chi's support and local residents' contributions, flood survivors are finding that their lives are returning to normal. Meanwhile, in Selangor and Kuala Lumpur, as their year-end blessing ceremony is just around the corner, Tzu Chi volunteers are busy with final preparations. Currently, volunteers are setting up a pavilion to show the different types of natural disasters. As the construction of the pavilion required professional advice, Tzu Chi volunteers asked interior designer Chen Huijie for help. Chen was more than willing to participate after learning the reason behind the construction.
Lots of teams worked on this project together. We are not the only one. They show great team spirit, and that's why I love this project. Whenever there's a problem, we work together to sort it out.
It has been 2 weeks since volunteers started building the pavilion with recyclables and materials donated by local businesses. Inside the premise, visitors can experience the different forms of natural calamities.
We want to teach members of the public how devastating disasters can be, so we built this pavilion to highlight the scale of natural disasters.
As they walk here, the ground will tremble like it would when an earthquake hits. We use different props, plays, and sound effects to simulate the different natural disasters.
The design of the pavilion aims to enhance the vigilance of the general public against future natural disasters.
Moving to the Philippines, when Super Typhoon Haiyan struck more than a month ago, 28 classrooms at the Tunga Central Elementary School were left severely damaged, and over 60% of the school students lost their books and stationery. Although classes are being held in damaged classrooms, students are ever more determined to continue on with their studies.
This is the wall of their house.
The wall came down when the typhoon struck.
So it is possible that this wall was blown down by the storm?
Yes, you can tell that this wall only has little cement in it, and the rest is sand.
Jero and his family of 10 lost everything, including their home in Super Typhoon Haiyan. Currently, the family is trying to rebuild with wood planks and corrugated iron sheets.
He lost his backpack and books in the typhoon. He took third place in his class, but without his books and notebook, I don't think he will be able to do that again.
Wala na yung mga libro. Okay lang?
Just only one? Only one. Where is your book?
Notebook. Meron ka? Notebook. Wala.
7-year-old Jero is a first grader at the Tunga Central Elementary School in Tunga. Following the typhoon, he found a pencil inside his collapsed home.
Kita mo anong nangyari? Nung nakita mo yung lapis mo? Masayang-masaya ka? Sabi niya, dapat ganun ka. Yan, ganun. Ito. Yan, first place. Ha? Sigurado?
During the typhoon, 28 classrooms at the Tunga Central Elementary School were severely damaged. As books were left waterlogged, students can only dry them under the sun. This is Nikozad, who was writing his homework when Super Typhoon Haiyan struck. The first thing he did was to put his pencils and books inside his backpack and hide it in his room.
The wind was blowing really strongly. It sounded like a cat screaming. It felt like someone was pulling at our roof. My children were hiding underneath the table, and I was standing beside the door checking on the situation outside.
At Tunga Central Elementary School, 60% of the students now have no books or stationery. Despite their loss, the children are happy the school is now back in session.
Nakaba na imong libro ay nandyan pa? Oo. Otro pagyakan, analog.
Malungkot.
Anong pagtulong mo ang gusto mo?
Mapahuram.
Although currently classes can only be held in damaged classrooms, rain or shine, these children are determined to continue on with their education. To help, Tzu Chi Foundation has decided to build 9 prefabricated classrooms on campus.
Taiwan's economic boom in the 1960s gave rise to the rapid growth of industrial businesses. The development of these manufacturers also led to a significant amount of industrial waste being discharged from factories into rivers and oceans. Over time, not only has this contaminated our rivers, it has also threatened the aquatic ecosystem along Taiwan's coastlines. Just how dirty are our waters? Here's more in our next report.
Since when did our beautiful coastline become a dumping site for man's unwanted waste and garbage?
In the 1960s, rapid economic growth and industrial development on the west coast of Taiwan was accompanied by an increase of industrial waste. Research assistant Huang Junnan spent the last 3 months traveling along the west coast and came across almost 20 seaside locations polluted from toxic waste.
There are bulk bags beneath where I'm standing right now. It's most likely industrial waste soil which contains a high concentration of heavy metals. These here are computer electronic boards which have coagulated among the waste, so we can't really separate them, but you can see there are computer electronic boards everywhere.
Seeing so much toxic waste surrounding our waters, Huang decided to collect samples for testing. The results showed these items to contain a high concentration of heavy metals and even radioactive uranium.
It will be up to the environmental authorities to track down the responsible party. The party in question is either the perpetrator, which in most cases cannot be tracked down, or second, the landowner, as the onus is on the landowner to manage his land.
Upon arriving at the Lajie Creek waterway in Taoyuan, we made a shocking discovery.
Oysters are usually slightly milky in color, but the wild oysters that are found here are this color, which is an indication of heavy metal contamination. Wild oysters are also an indicator species and serve as biomonitors in marine environments.
Coastlines such as this include, among others, Hsinchu's Xiangshan wetlands and Tainan's Erun River, where the first green oyster phenomenon occurred. Industrial waste is classified into 2 categories, general and hazardous. According to information provided by the Environmental Protection Administration on waste management, accumulated industrial waste totals almost 18 million tons, with hazardous waste accounting for 7% of that, and of the total, only around 54% is reusable waste. So, what about the rest?
Incinerating combustible industrial waste is just part of the solution to the problem. What about the other harmful substances which we cannot get rid of? We need a proper plan in place. We see many cases of toxic pollution in Taiwan. A fine of 600,000 NT dollars is not enough to put an end to this problem once and for all.
Once our ocean waters become contaminated, not only will this endanger our coastlines, our fishing and farming industry and even our drinking water and food will become hazardous. Only if corporations are willing to take responsibility and governments revise waste management legislations accordingly, will we stand a chance of safeguarding our waters.
Tzu Chi first set foot in China's Hubei province following severe flooding in 1994. It was also then that volunteers fundraised to help build a children's welfare center in Wuhan City, which was established later in 1997. Over the past 15 years, volunteers have cared for countless children in the area, including Yao Na, who today has grown up and was inspired to join Tzu Chi to become a certified volunteer this year.
Hubei is where the famous Battle of Red Cliffs was fought. It is also here that Tzu Chi has left its footprint of love.
Known as a province with over 1,000 lakes, Hubei offers abundant scenery. Nonetheless, the Yangtze River often floods, bringing hardship to residents. It was after the flooding in 1994 that Tzu Chi first set foot here.
In 1997, Wuhan City established its Children's Welfare Center. Here, Tzu Chi volunteers have been spreading their seeds of love.
This little boy works hard to stretch his back. Though hard work, these rehab movements have to be repeated many times a day.
He has a hunched back, so we are training his back muscles.
Besides laughter, sounds of children crying can be heard amid the music.
Don't cry, what's wrong? Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Accompanying the children in their rehab is newly certified Tzu Chi volunteer Yao Na, who grew up here herself.
Here, I had the opportunity to learn and study. Oh no, don't make me cry. My eyes are tearing up now.
With tears in her eyes, Yao speaks of how her parents passed away when she was young, and this children's welfare center was her home since she was 7. It was through Tzu Chi that Yao found the warmth and love of a family.
Helping others is like helping myself. Tzu Chi volunteers make me feel like they are my family. Though I don't have grandparents, I am really happy to have met them.
Of the nearly 600 children at the welfare center, half are orphans like Yao Na, with the other half suffering from different disabilities. Tzu Chi's affinity with the center was formed early on during its construction.
It is wonderful to see how the teachers accompany these children as they grow up. Under the condition that we don't interrupt their schedules, our brothers and sisters should come learn how these teachers give their love.
Over the past 15 years, the seeds of love Tzu Chi volunteers have been spreading have begun to blossom, inspiring compassion in residents like Yao Na. In the days ahead, volunteers hope to continue this trend of love in Hubei. Back to Taiwan, though the nation has been hit by cold fronts, Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremonies are warming hearts and minds all around the island. Over the past weekend in Yilan and Luodong, 4 ceremonies were held over 2 days, while earlier in the week, Master Zheng Yan made an appearance at the second round of blessing ceremonies. Let's take a look.
At a blessing ceremony at the Tzu Chi Luodong Liaison Office in Yilan, Master Zheng Yan arrives to participate. Receiving red envelopes of wisdom and blessing from the Master herself, the recycling volunteers hold the gift close to their hearts. Later, a video of the transformation of the DaAi recycling station from a fish factory to a Bodhisattva Pure Land was also shown.
When we started, we didn't have a recycling truck. We could only use the DaAi father's car and Sister Chen Fang's car to pick up the recyclables.
人间菩萨啊，为人间而付出。人间菩萨呢，为疼惜地球而付出。因为用心用爱付出，咱大家人呢，都为着疼惜大地来祈福言呐。
Looking back at the past year, Tzu Chi Foundation has done much to relieve the suffering of others, and also has much to be thankful for.
天下下，唔知有偌多呢，安尼受苦难人。 啊，若想到咱家己呢，伫咧台湾啊，生来 是真有福啦。
At a previous blessing ceremony, Ms. Zhang, who was a Tzu Chi Care recipient, brought along the senior whom she is looking after to join the event.
This place eases my heart and calms me.
Tzu Chi volunteers in the Yilan and Luodong area held 4 blessing ceremonies in just 2 days. And despite the rainy weather, many brought their families.
Today I brought my whole family, mother-in-law, husband, son and daughter to join the event. We wanted to take this opportunity to obtain spiritual peace.
It gives the children an opportunity to learn about helping others and how to use the love inside their hearts.
If I have the ability, of course I will join the ranks of the Tzu Chi volunteers and give my love to others that need help.
Besides handing out the red envelopes of blessing and wisdom, a charity fair was also held. One handmade mantou stand was so popular that there was a line just to place a pre-order.
Seeing the devastation of the Philippines, everyone was determined to do as much as they can.
We hope everyone can work together to share the love.
With everyone taking action to help the less fortunate, our planet will surely be one filled with harmony and peace in the upcoming new year.
In China, the Tzu Chi Foundation has a new home in Mazhuqiao of the Beijing area. At the opening event held in conjunction with the year-end blessing ceremony, over 400 participants arrived to take part. Here's more.
In Beijing, China, Tzu Chi's Mazhuqiao office has officially opened its doors to the public. 10-year-old Wang Zhaoyi brought her whole family on stage to share their story.
She is a young volunteer. She inspired her whole family to join Tzu Chi. Now I can call you sister.
I will share the love our family has received with others.
Donating the space for Tzu Chi's Mazhuqiao office, entrepreneur Zhu Shihao is happy that he's finally able to fulfill the vow he made 2 years ago in Hualien.
I hope our office can be an example for others to follow and also motivate citizens of China to join our cause.
This home needs everyone tending to it, just like a farm needs continual cultivation. We can take the love we have and plant roots here so that it may grow and prosper.
In the past half year, many volunteers helped ready the Tzu Chi office. Among those were Chen Xia and Cui Jian, who both moved their family closer to the venue to help.
I am happy to see so many people today. I hope in the future more Tzu Chi family members will visit us and in turn help us to protect this home.
I hope everyone treats this like their second home and visits frequently. We will use our sincerest heart to welcome all of you.
Over 400 residents attended the office's first blessing ceremony to ring in the new year.
I can follow in Tzu Chi's footsteps in doing recycling and being compassionate.
The new Tzu Chi office in Mazhuqiao is sure to find a place in the hearts and lives of the surrounding community.
We go to Canada at the end of today's show. In Burnaby, Tzu Chi volunteers have handed out Christmas gift packs to the homeless and senior residents for 11 consecutive years. This time, trainee volunteers also joined the home visitations to celebrate the joyous occasion with their recipients. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.